On strugglers. Today it's Wednesday. It's 8 a.m. Eastern time, and it's actually I think FOMC. We have FOMC at 2 p.m. and I'm getting ready for the New York session. Right, just looking at the charts because usually I don't necessarily take that much of trades before big news events such as NFP, FOMC. But however, with time and with experience, I've come to learn that honestly, FOMC and NFP, although they are big major news, they don't really scare me that much. And the reason why is that my trades are not necessarily swing trades, but kind of intraday trades, and sometimes I have big stop losses. And actually, NFP, like I've been realizing that it actually helps price move faster to where I want price to go, right? But it can kind of be dangerous sometimes because if it stops you out, you can get slipped and lose more of what you wanted to risk. But like I said, I'm the type of trader that has big stop losses. I'm not a scalper. I don't trade the event a couple of minutes before it. So when I take a trade, usually is a couple of hours before, and I let the NFP or FOMC uh, take the trade whatever it wants to go, and usually I don't get slipped out, which is nice. But I still like to be really cautious before that event. So yeah, I just wanted to go through the pairs that I trade, go over my analysis and bias because why not? And yeah, so let's start over with the dollars. So the dollar, honestly, we're in a weekly gap right now, but let me just remove these things. We're in this small weekly gap. However, with the look of it, I'm not necessarily sure that we're gonna go lower from it just because of that candle right now. Because the thing is, I only trade fair value gaps. Honestly, like fair value gaps really helps me to determine a bias of. It helps me determine a drawn liquidity because by simply look at by simply looking at a fair value gap, we can either trade from it, right? So we can either trade from this gap and go to this drawn liquidity right here, or we can disrespect it and then target this high right here, right? However, because of the fact that we've been like going lower for the past few weeks, like I'm leaning to just look for how I can go short, and we do have this really nice weekly fair value gap, right? So we can go lower from it and potentially target this low right here. However, the thing is, by looking at this candle right here with this weekly candle, it's so bullish right now that it's making me a little bit cautious because I'm asking myself, will price really make a huge wick like that to then form the candle right here? It can, honestly, it really can, but by the looks of it, maybe price already made the wick of the week and potentially is going to go higher. So we don't know, right? And that's when I have to be patient. That's when I have to be patient and actually look at the lower time frames to show me if price does actually want to go lower or higher. And that's on the weekly, right? So going into the daily, right? We can see that for today, price might look to take this high, right? It might maybe take out this high right here, sweep it, and then start to go lower to actually respect the weekly gap. And the reason why is that, like I said, we can still go lower, but I would have liked price to go lower after trading in the fair value gap right here. So maybe Monday, right, to potentially make the high of the week and then go lower, right? But like we went into the weekly fair value gap, we're struggling a little bit. We swept this high right here, as you can see. We struggled to go lower and actually form a we actually formed a bullish daily fair value gap. So that for me is resistance. Price can go higher from it, right? So we are kind of between two PD arrays, right? So right now I just need to wait. That's it. I just need to be patient and not take a trade for the moment because I'm just not sure where price might want to go. So yeah, what I could have done and what I'm actually interested in doing is if price actually shows me on the lower time frame, right? For example, if price want to maybe sweep this high right here and give me a 1 hour fair value gap, oh, give me a 1 hour fair value gap right here, we could actually target the bullish daily fair value gap because it's unmitigated, right? It's not traded into, right? So I could potentially target the daily fair value gap. So these are my kind of ideas for the moment with the dollar. I'm not sure, like I said, maybe price is gonna just keep going higher. That's the thing, I can't predict. I can't know what price is gonna do, but I can't react from it, right? So that's why right now I just don't know what it's gonna do. So I need to be patient and wait for confirmation. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the dollar. So, but if I had to like maybe give an answer, I don't know. This weekly fair value gap is a little bit sus for me. I don't know if it's gonna respect it. We might form like the huge wick, but like looking at this candle, will it make a huge wick right here? Maybe not. Maybe next week we might respect the gap. So maybe next week we can sweep the high of the week and then go lower. I just don't know. So I'm just gonna go here because the sun is on me. Yeah, so that's it for the dollar. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait. Maybe FOMC. After FOMC is gonna be more obvious what price might want to do. But yeah, we could still go lower and target the daily fair value gap, like I mentioned, or we can go higher. We're, I'm just gonna wait. So for NQ is really interesting for me, honestly, because starting in the on the monthly time frame, like we're just going higher, we're potentially forming a monthly fair value gap. But for now, it's not really interesting to look at the monthly because there's still 22 days for the candle to form. So I'm going into the weekly, and on the weekly we have this bullish weekly fair value gap, right? So my idea is to wait for price to retrace into this bullish weekly fair value gap to then target the high right here. However, looking at the weekly candle, what the hell? Looking at the weekly candle that we have right now, there you go. It's showing me that price is maybe already ready to go higher with this wick right here. And the reason why we have this wick is because we have a daily fair value gap, right here with this gap, which is really nice because it's aligned with a bullish daily order block right here. On the S&P, it's more clear, as you can see right here. We have this bullish daily fair value gap. We're going higher from it. It's not showing me signs that we're going to retrace to the weekly gap right here. So this high right now, it's really interesting for me to target. And yeah, this is the kind of trade that honestly I'm confident in taking before FOMC, because I really don't mind taking it. Even if I lose, I'm gonna have a big stop loss. Like I can take it right now, right here, with my stop in this swing low to target this high right here. 1 to 5, not necessarily a good risk to reward. I can wait a little bit, or if price decide to move, I could potentially have a higher stop loss. But yeah, we also have extra conferences. For example, we have this SMC right here with the S&P 500, which is really nice. And yeah, like we also have this for our bearish fair value gap that could be the PD rate that pushes us lower to go into the bullish weekly fair value gap, right? However, it's not respecting it as of right now. It's going higher, showing me that we're sweeping this low right here to go higher, maybe target this high right here. So that's how I use fair value gaps to help me determine a bias. So yes, I might take this trade, honestly. I think I will, because it's a really nice setup, honestly. Respecting this daily gap, and even if I lose, it's gonna show me that okay, maybe we're going lower a little bit to target the bullish weekly fair value gap, and then I can look to buy again to go higher, because we've been going higher for a lot of weeks right now. So yeah, honestly, S&P and NQ really interesting for me to buy. Yeah, so Euro USD and GB USD, I'm just following what the dollar is showing me. So right now I'm just waiting. I have some alerts because on Euro USD we are in a weekly gap right here, just like the dollar. So yeah, it could be really interesting to go lower. I'm gonna wait. And for gold right now, not really sure what it's doing. Kind of consolidating. I've been talking about this gap for. Sorry about that, my computer just died, so I had to come back in. And while my computer was charging, I actually took a trade finally on NQ. So I'm currently in this position right here. I decided to take the buy right here, so targeting the weekly high that I had marked up right there. And on the I enter on the 4 hour right here, and we do have a 4 hour forming potentially in 1 hour. So I honestly didn't want to wait for it. Like, I'm on vacation. I don't want to keep looking at the charts every second, and like I want to enjoy. So I decided to just take a swing high right here. A swing high. I took a swing high. I took a position right here, targeting the swing high, and I put my whoop. All right, so now I just didn't have any Wi-Fi. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna end the video soon because, anyways, yeah, I took the setup right here. My stop loss I decided to put in this body low, so I could have protection in case price decide to retrace into this 4 hour Fvgs gap that is currently forming. So yeah, this is the setup that I took, targeting the high with the stop loss right here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm gonna get stopped out if price decide to go lower to retrace to the weekly Fvgs gap like I talked about. But yeah, I'm confident in this trade, respecting my rules. Yeah, everything's good. So I was talking about gold, and gold, honestly, I don't know. I was talking about how I had talking about this weekly Fvgs gap right now for weeks now, and it's just not delivering. Like, we're just consolidating, and the reason why, well, I actually don't have a reason. I don't know why. I thought a monthly Fvgs gap was forming, but not. It isn't. So right now on the weekly, just consolidating. I really wanted price to target this high, but we're just going lower right now. So kind of waiting, honestly. Like, this is not interesting stuff, honestly. Like, price can target this low, but honestly, I'm not interested in gold right now. No. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for gold to have maybe more clear price action on the daily. And yeah, that's it for today. Just wanted to show you guys my analysis of the market right now, pre FOMC. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys maybe tomorrow after FOMC, because I'm gonna be active tomorrow. I think tomorrow there's red folder news, which is perfect conditions for me to trade. So I'm gonna be active for London session and New York. And since I'm not in Canada right now, I'm in Europe. Like I said in the last video, I am still unprofitable. I'm not traveling the world because I'm profitable and making money off of trading. Like, I'm still growing, trying to be profitable, just showing my and documenting my journey. But yeah, since I'm in Europe now, I can actually be awake during London session, which I'm so excited about, because in Canada, like, London session is at 2 a.m. and I can never be active during that session. So yeah, I'm gonna be active, and I'm gonna post more now that I'm on vacation. I have free time. Yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, what's going on, guys? It is now the 10th of July. It's the next day, and it's currently 3:30 Eastern time, right? And yeah, I have some good and really bad news. So the good news is that I was actually right on the trade with NQ. I was right. It did go to the John liquidity that I had marked up, which was the previous week's high right here. However, the really, really bad news, as you can see right here, price did hit TP. The really bad news is that I forgot to set a TP. I actually forgot to set a take profit. Oh my god. Yesterday when I made the trade, like, I just didn't set a TP because I thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna manually close the trade and all that, because I usually do that. I don't often set a TP because I like to just see where price goes and manually decide where I want to end the trade. And yeah, because I forgot to set a TP, I just went on with my day since I'm on vacation and just completely forgot that I had a trade open. Oh my god, I came back like 3 hours later and I just remember, holy shit, I'm in a trade. And yeah, I opened the charts, and the good news though is that, let me move this. When I went into the charts 3 hours later, price was about right here. So, no, price was right here, so I was able to at least close the trade at a 1% gain. I'm just so lucky that I got to look at the trade like when price was at a 1% gain, because if I had just waited, price would have stopped me out, or not even. I didn't have trade at break even, so anyways, I was able to close the trade with a 1% gain, which is not bad, but like still, if I had put a TP, I would have banked in 2%, so it sucks a lot. Honestly, that's the thing with me. Having a bias and being right, it's not my issue. I've realized that my issue is when I'm in the trade, the way that I manage a trade. Sometimes I manage it so poorly, and in this case, I literally just forgot that I had a trade. Like, this is crazy. However, if I look at the bright side of it, if I look in a positive way, well, I was so comfortable in the trade, so I respected my rules so much that I was just so comfortable being in that trade that I just forgot about it. So I mean, that's a good thing. Like, I respected my rules and all that. I was so comfortable being in that trade because everything was aligned that I just forgot about it. So if I just put the TP, everything would have been perfect. Yeah, it happens, man. That's the thing. When I make a mistake, when my bias is not right, I'm often able to take the loss. But when it's like human error, it pisses me off so badly. But anyways, like, I can't do nothing about it. At least I gained 1%, which is not bad. Now I want to go over other things because I did take another trade, and the reason why is that when one price took out this high right here, as you can see, we have a SMT right here. So NQ did take the high, but the S&P didn't. And at that moment of time, even though we're so bullish, we took out the daily context high, right? So we did have our market maker buy model. So from this bullish daily fair value gap to this swing high, we did it. So we took out the high, and now, as you can see with the daily gap right here, we were sweeping it. So from that point on, I actually looked for some shorts right here, and because of that 4-hour candle right here, as you can see with this wick right here, at that time the body was really down here and it was a great short opportunity. However, we did have this 4-hour acting as resistance. So, and even though like shorts were looking good to even target this weekly gap that it's unmitigated, I didn't really want to do it because we're still overall really bullish, sorry. We're still overall really bullish. And even though we have that SMT right here, like, the S&P could still go higher and take out the high right here. So as you can see right here, I had this short marked up because I wanted to see price come down here so we can invalidate this bullish 4-hour fair value gap, right? But we didn't do that, and instead I actually saw a buying opportunity. And the reason why is that, as you can see with this candle right here, we have this 1-hour bullish fair value gap right here, and like, I was still leaning on S&P to go higher and actually take out the high, right? Even though we had the S&P. But anyways, yes, we had this 1 hour marked up, so I'm thinking, okay, even though we have this momentum going down, we're still respecting this 1 hour bullish gap. And my idea, right, was to actually target this 15-minute gap right here, because the reason why is that right here, when we're in this zone right here, we're in a PD array, right, in the form of that 1 hour fair value gap. So if we have a reaction from this bullish 1 hour fair value gap, we can actually target this 15-minute bearish unmitigated gap, right? Because from here to here, we have no PD array that could push us lower, so it's low resistance. It's a low resistance area. So taking a buy right here could be really interesting, right? However, we're still in a lower time frame for me, but I still decided to try and take a buy. And what I did right here is that, as you can see right here, we had this 5-minute gap right here that would have been the PDA rate that pushes us higher to target that 15-minute gap right here. So I decided to take it on the Nasdaq because we did have an SMT right here with this low right here, and yeah, targeting this 15-minute gap. But I'm gonna be honest, like I said earlier in the video, I trade the higher time frame usually, so even though this trade looked good, I took it right here in this 5-minute gap right here to target the 15-minute, and honestly the risk to reward was not great, and my idea was to be at break even once price takes out the high. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is not the trade that I usually take, and while being in that trade my heart was beating so fast because it's so lower time frame for me. Some of you guys might think like, what the fuck, are you serious? It's the 5-minute, it's higher time frame for some of you guys, but for me it's not. But I still decided to take it because it was a good trade. However, now that's the thing, I decided to close it manually after some time because we were really consolidating a lot, and I just didn't like it anymore because we were nearing FOMC, and I just decided, you know what, we're going to consolidate for the rest of the session before FOMC, and I decided to close the trade. I think right here, I think on the 1 minute you can see it clearer, but yeah, with this candle close right here, I was like, okay, you know what, let me close the trade. I think I took like a 0.15% loss. I was able to close the trade early and I took a really small loss, which is fine, honestly. And yeah, however, like after coming back again to the charts a couple of hours later, we did actually target the 15-minute gap. However, I would have been at break even, so I would have been stopped at break even. So, but we did go higher. The bias was right. I could have banked in a 2R, but it didn't look good for me. Like this price action for me, if I'm in a trade with this price action, I'm not looking to hold it. Like I want price to go fast because I usually trade in areas where there's low resistance liquidity. And as you can see right here in this trade, look how fast we went to the drawn liquidity. So the reason why is that, as you can see right here, when I'm taking a trade in this area right here, there's no PD array that could push price lower. As you can see, we only have swing points. So this right here, this zone, this kind of area, if I can say, I'm just gonna mark it with a box. There's no Fvgs gaps that can push price lower. There's just liquidity, just swing highs where price is going to target that. And that's why you can see with only 3 15-minute candle we pushed higher, which was perfect. So when I'm seeing price forming these types of candles right here, it's a sign for me that we're consolidating. So that's why I decided to close the trade manually. So fortunately I was able, I think, to bank like a 0.75% gain. Like I'm still so pissed about this trade because it was beautiful, everything played out correctly, but I just forgot to set a TP. Like that's my downfall. It's just these small little mistakes. It's just so dumb and stupid, but it is what it is, man. Like I'm just learning and trying to not make that mistake again. So yeah, that was the market recap for today, where, well, actually the 10th of July, and today is a great opportunity to trade again, so I'm gonna make another video. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.